Hi everyone, I hope you're doing well. My name is Ursula and I love making art, and I also love making videos about art. So in this video I'm going to talk about how to use gouache and especially how to blend it, and also how to get the right consistency. One of you asked me these questions on Instagram, so I wanted to do a dedicated video because I think they are very interesting and also very important when you use gouache. So I'm going to try to give you some answers, but feel free if you have any tips or any advice to share them in the comments. And also if you have any other questions about gouache, I would love to answer you in other videos, so please feel free to leave them below. As I said in a previous video that I will put you here and in the description box, you can use gouache as you use watercolor, or you can use gouache as you use acrylics, so either in a very light way using a lot of water and less paint, or you can use very little water and use a lot of paint, especially when you use gouache right off the tube. If you let your gouache dry like this, for example, sometimes I do that because I know that I will use the same colors then, so I keep the same palette and I then apply water and reactivate the paint. Then you will get something very similar to watercolor. So it's interesting to know that you can do both, but I think the best way to use gouache is to find the right balance, and to do that you need to try it on the paper. You need to experience it so you can see what you're doing and you can see what you need, if you need more water or less water, if you need paint right off the tube, or if you want to use it like watercolor and reactivate the paint. So you can really do whatever you want. So there is no right consistency because you can do different things with gouache, which is very interesting, and I usually do all of that when I paint. But what is right is to know when you need to use it like watercolor, when you need to use it in the middle and when you need to use it for like acrylic. It's very much depending on the opacity. So if you want something very transparent, you can use a lot of water and use it like watercolor. But if you want something very opaque, you will use it like acrylics and use a lot less water. So very little water. And yeah, when you find the balance between the two, you have something opaque but not totally opaque. You can still see a little bit of what you have below, and also you have a texture that is very fluid but not too fluid, like it's not water and it's not like watercolor, but it's something that is a bit more controllable. Can I say controllable? I don't know, like that you can control a bit more easily. For me it's easier to control gouache, especially when you have a texture that is a bit more dense. Not too dense because you still need water to use gouache, and gouache can crack, so it's very important to have enough water when you use gouache. But it's interesting to have something a bit more dense and to play with it. I would say that maybe 80% of the time when I'm painting I use gouache in the middle, like I try to find the balance between the two. And when I want something more transparent, maybe 10% of the time I use it like watercolor, and when I want something a bit more opaque and something like acrylic, I use it like that, like again maybe 10% of the time. It's very much playing with it and trying it and see it on the paper. With time you'll see when you need more water and when you need less water. So I hope that answered the question pretty well. I hope so. I'm also going to talk about how to blend gouache. So it's very linked to that because you actually need to have the right consistency. you need to find the balance to easily blend gouache. If you have something very liquid, the result will be a lot different than if you have something a bit more balanced in terms of consistency and opacity. So usually when you blend gouache, the first thing to know is that you can reactivate the first layer, like the layer that you just applied before, because gouache is reactivable. So you need to be careful with that. So my favorite way to blend gouache is to have something that is not still dry and add something that is new, like the new paint and water. I think it's a lot more easier, and it also looks better at the end. So I try to have something that is still wet, or I add water to get something a bit wet so that the paint can move and that you can mix the colors and that you can have something dynamic. Actually, I love painting clouds, and I really paint them like I'm forming, like I'm shaping the clouds on the paper. Yeah, I really do these movements that I think they are doing in a way. So I don't know, all of that is very hard to explain, because you will learn that by doing, by trying, by seeing it on the paper or on your canvas. So it comes with experience, and it's a lot more easier to get it when you do it and when you see it. So I've tried to show you some videos and pictures, but really try to do it at home and try to experience it with, as I said, a lot of water and also very little water, to really try to find the right consistency for you, because maybe my right consistency, what I think is right for gouache and easier for gouache, is not the same for you, maybe, I don't know. And so you really need to use it to see what you like, and also it can be different depending on the type of gouache you're using, because you have gouache, classic gouache in tubes, but you can also use acrylic gouache. I also have some acrylic gouache, and you also have now some jelly type of gouache. I've seen that on YouTube. I've never tried that, but I'm pretty sure it's very different. Really try, experiment, and have fun. Please let me know if you like this video in the comments. Like and subscribe to keep watching my videos, and I hope to see you soon in a new one. Bye!